Lamar Jackson beat out Pat Mahomes for the number one spot in the Locked On NFL Top 100. What are we doing? That and more on today's edition of Locked On NFL.
The new Locked On NFL. The madman Tyler Rowland is your double shot of NFL espresso with the Locked On local experts on every major story. Get ready, Rowland is revving up. The new Locked On NFL starts now. Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Football fans, welcome in to the Locked On NFL podcast, bringing you a double dose of the NFL's biggest stories with help from our local experts that know your favorite teams like no one else. I am your host, the madman, Tyler Rowland, joined today by Locked On NFL expert, the Data Queen, Michelle Majuk. On today's episode, we are going to be breaking down and taking a look at the things that stand out to us from the Locked On NFL Top 100 list, the top 100 players in the NFL as voted on by the Locked On NFL hosts. I had votes in here, but I can't say that I agree with every ranking, including the number one player. We're going to talk about Lamar over Mahomes. We're going to talk about where Jayden Daniels is at. Also, I think Bijan Robinson was overrated in this one. So a lot to dive into in today's episode. Before we do, thank you for making Locked On NFL your first listen each and every day, Monday through Friday. NFL content all year round, always for free. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed. It's Locked On NFL, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Michelle, the number one ranking, Lamar Jackson takes the cake. I will say, I personally had Patrick Mahomes number one in my overall rankings. What do you make of Lamar taking the number one spot?
I'm okay with Patrick Mahomes being number two, but not for Lamar Jackson. I ranked Josh Allen number one. I have many reasons why if we want to get into that, but
number three on the list, Josh Allen.
I think all three of these quarterbacks are absolutely elite, amazing players, and they change their team and carry their team, and any of them have a chance to win a Super Bowl. I know Lamar and Josh Allen have not yet, and Patrick Mahomes has won many, but I just personally think Josh Allen is the most elite talent in the NFL right now, and I would put him ahead of Mahomes, and then I would have done Lamar third.
Okay, listen, that is a scorching take coming out of it. That's not what I expected. I love to hear it. So Josh Allen would be your number one. I get it, but I can tell you someone who does agree with this ranking. It's my guy, Kevin Oestreicher from Locked On Ravens.
It is about time Lamar Jackson gets some recognition for his 2024 season. I'm Kevin Oestreicher, the host of Locked On Ravens. Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL and is the top-ranked player in the NFL for a multitude of different reasons. Lamar's 2024 included 5,000 total yards. He also had 41 touchdowns through the air compared to just 4 interceptions. And if you want to include his 4 rushing touchdowns, it puts him at 45 total touchdowns. He was the first player in NFL history to have over 4,000 passing yards and over 900 rushing yards. And he also had a touchdown percentage of 8.6%, which is 6th all time since the NFL completed the merger back in 1970. Josh Allen had a great year. He won the MVP. Patrick Mahomes, he has the rings. But Lamar Jackson, to me, is better than both of those guys right now. And since Josh Allen won the MVP and Saquon Barkley won the Offensive Player of the Year, there was no recognition for Lamar Jackson. I know there was potentially some voter fatigue in the MVP vote. There's no voter fatigue here, though, for Lamar Jackson. Very well deserved for Lamar. So for more on the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, be sure you check out Locked On Ravens on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
So listen, I disagree with the ranking, obviously, but let me at least play devil's advocate. If you were looking at the rankings, say who is going to be the most productive player in 2025, then you could make the argument it's Lamar Jackson. The natural talent that he has with this, how much he's progressed as a thrower. And you look at last year, I would say that Lamar Jackson had a better statistical season, a more productive season, but Josh Allen had less help around him and led his team to some better things. So I think that you could make the argument from that direction that it's Lamar Jackson, I guess. But for me, the way I look at it is, who is the player that if I had to draft a football team, I had any player on earth, and I had to start a football team to win a game for my life, Who am I taking? That is the best football player on earth, and that is Patrick Mahomes still to me, even after some down statistical seasons. I'm not going to let that kind of ruin the truth of the matter. And we all know if we had to pick one player now, maybe you could say, actually, I'd pick Josh Allen, and Allen would be my number 2.
Allen's my number 1, and it's funny that he says the only reason he didn't win MVP is, voting fatigue. I just don't think that's true. I mean, maybe if he didn't win it last year in one of the worst MVP seasons of all time, like 2023 season, he shouldn't have won MVP. It should have went to Josh Allen. It really should have, but because he threw too many interceptions, because he threw too many interceptions, he didn't get it, even though all of his numbers absolutely destroyed Lamar Jackson. Now, it's really funny now that Ravens fans are like, well, Lamar's numbers were better than Josh Allen's this year. Well, Josh had way better numbers the year prior and didn't win. It's not just doesn't come down to just straight up numbers. Josh Allen was playing with a lot of guys that most people would not be good with. And guess what? It's Josh Allen that leads the NFL by 36 touchdowns since 2020. He has 215 offensive touchdowns since 2020. That is first in the league. The next closest is Patrick Mahomes at 179. And again, Josh Allen has 215. Josh Allen has had 5 straight seasons with at least 40 touchdowns. That's the longest streak in NFL history. And no other quarterback in NFL history has had a streak longer than 3 seasons. And he's at 5. He is so disrespected with what he does. And then everyone, the reason he didn't win MVP in 2023 is because, well, he has Stephon Diggs and Lamar Jackson doesn't. Take away Stephon Diggs, it didn't matter. He's still so stinking good. He was actually better without him because he wasn't throwing the interceptions because he didn't feel the need to, force it into him. I personally think if Josh Allen was with Andy Reid and that defense and that team, really the coaching staff, he would have just as many rings as Patrick Mahomes.
I think you could make a strong argument. Again, Allen is my number 2, so I'm with you. Let her cook. Okay, I have no pushback on that. Moving down throughout the top 10, though, we see Myles Garrett at number 4 as the first defensive player. Just real quick, I'm okay with Myles Garrett being the number 1 defensive player. Would you put someone over him?
I'd put TJ Watt over him, but
or
Parsons. Myles Garrett's really good at the non-sacks. That's why PFF loves him. That's why people who think they're really smart about football loves him. He's really good at not getting sacks. I'm just kidding. He gets a lot of sacks too, but he's a really big dude. And he could have a lot more sacks in his career. He just doesn't come down with it. And he also disappears in the biggest moments of games, which is the opposite of TJ Watt. I think Myles Garrett deserves to be top 10. Maybe second or third among defenders, with Parsons maybe taking over him. But TJ Watt, there's no logical reason to have, there is not an argument to have Garrett over TJ Watt. There's not one out there besides quarterback pressure rate. And that's literally it. But cool. I don't know. It's just silly. It's very,
Tell us how you really feel. Look, I know somebody who agrees with you on that. We'll talk about TJ Watt's ranking. So if Myles Garrett shouldn't be there, then I'm excited to hear where you thought TJ Watt should have been ranked. We will get to that. I do want to say that I think Saquon Barkley at number 10 is too high for me. I think there are players later on this list who are more impactful, if not, it's not as remarkable. It's not
that is so recency bias. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that there's a better player on the Eagles. Honestly, I think there might be 2 better players on the Eagles offense than Saquon Barkley if I was making a team in the same categories that I had before. So I wanted to point that out. I had to throw a little bit of haterade in there, of course, to end things off. But other than that, you have Joe Burrow at 5, at number 4 out of those quarterbacks. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase at 6 and 7. I would put Chase over Jefferson, but I'm kind of okay with both of them being there. Micah Parsons is 8, Patrick Surtain at 9. Those are all okay rankings, in my opinion, but Watt obviously not being in the top 10 is something that caught a lot of people's eyes. And again, Michelle, you're not the only one who is kind of angry about that one. Do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, summer sports are in full swing, whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the greens, or high-stakes soccer action. FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I love FanDuel. I love a same-game parlay on FanDuel. You can combine a bunch of little bets to get a great value. Also, tracking your same-game parlay on FanDuel, visually stunning, so easy to use, fast to pay out, everything you could ever ask for. Make every regular season game feel like a must-watch event. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, Michelle, let's continue today's edition of Locked On NFL, breaking down the Locked On NFL Top 100. We looked at the top 10, had the big debates at the top, and Michelle, your boy TJ Watt came in at number 11, and that ranking was obviously not good enough for you, and it was also not good enough for my guy Chris Carter from Locked On Steelers.
Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt comes in ranked at number 11 for the Locked On Podcast Network's top 100 NFL players. But as Kendrick Lamar says, it's not enough. I'm Christopher Carter of the Locked On Steelers podcast, and these rankings continue the trend of undervaluing TJ Watt despite him dominating the most important statistics on defense during his time in the NFL. Since he and Myles Garrett entered the NFL together in 2017, TJ Watt leads all of the NFL with the most sacks, the most tackles for loss, the most quarterbacks hits, the most quarterback pressures, and the most forced fumbles of any NFL defensive player during that time. He also has the most passes defensed and most interceptions of any edge rusher in the NFL during that time as well. The Steelers know TJ Watt's value, and that's why he's probably about to get paid big with a new contract extension. While the Steelers have never had a losing record under Mike Tomlin, they are 1-10 when TJ Watt doesn't play. TJ Watt is the ultimate difference maker on defense, and he should be ranked higher on this list.
All right, that's a definitive answer from Chris Carter there from Locked On Steelers. Listen, I just want to say as a counter, TJ Watt has been better than Myles Garrett during this time frame that we're talking about. For sure. There's no doubt about it. You guys have made an undoubtable case. But can I just say that Myles Garrett was better last year?
Why?
He was more productive, more consistent. I just try to be logical here. I agree that TJ Watt has been better, but going into 2025, if you're making that argument after kind of the down end of the year TJ Watt had, maybe you would rather have Myles Garrett going into 2025. Are you concerned about Watt's ability to get back to the level that he was at all?
No, not at all. He dealt with some injuries last year. The fact that the guy who has the most career sacks per game all time, sacks have been recorded since 1982, individual sacks, is not top 10 in this list is insane. TJ Watt has the most sacks per game in NFL history. The fact that, this feels very recency bias, right? It was a little bit of a downer year for TJ Watt. He was injured a lot, but he still put up really fine production. Also, it's we're not coming up with the clutch, being clutch as an edge rusher is so important, right? TJ Watt has 8 strip sacks in the fourth quarter in his career, right? Yeah. Leads the NFL since 2017. No shocker. I have to scroll all the way down for Myles Garrett. 3. He has 3 strip sacks in the fourth quarter during that time. TJ Watt has 8. So 2 more than double that, almost triple what he does. That clutch factor, that's what I'm talking about. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, neck to neck, amazing edge rushers, both of them. But the thing that Myles Garrett is missing, that TJ Watt has, is that when his team needs an insane play at the end of the game, Watt shows up time and again, and you just very, very rarely ever see that out of Myles Garrett.
No, you're 100% right. Now, in fairness to Myles Garrett, I feel like his team isn't in as many clutch situations because they're bad most of the time, but that's another argument for TJ Watt. It's not like they've had great quarterback play there in Pittsburgh to lead the team. He's led the team, and that's probably why, like Chris said, he's going to get paid here soon. I just want to point out, I said earlier that I thought Saquon was a little too high. I think a guy like Penei Sewell, who's at number 13, right tackle for the Detroit Lions, I think he should have been in the top 10. He is the best offensive lineman in the NFL, in my opinion, so I would have liked to have seen him in there, whereas, there's no offensive lineman in the top 10. I just think that's crazy to me, so I would want to seen Penei Sewell or Lane Johnson there. I would take A.J. Brown over Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown's at 16, Derrick Henry's at 14. Same kind of thing. We talked about those linebackers, but I really want to point out here that at number 31, we have Jayden Daniels, and I guess I'm a little bit surprised that he wasn't higher on this list. Now, he is quarterback number 5. So a big ranking after the number 1 season. But my guy David Harrison from Locked On Commanders thinks he might even go up in the quarterback ranking.
Jayden Daniels is already a star now in 2025. It's time for him to become a superstar. I'm David Harrison of the Locked On Commanders podcast, and Daniels is entering his second NFL season ranked 31st overall, the 6th highest ranked quarterback in our Locked On NFL Top 100 after winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year award in 2024. Now, with 5 primetime games and 10 national broadcast games in 2025, yeah, some of them are cupcake games like Week 2 in Green Bay, but still, Daniels is going to have every opportunity to showcase his talents. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes both won the NFL MVP award in their second NFL seasons. Jayden Daniels has the poise, the system, and now the spotlight to be the third among this top 6 quarterback group. And I wouldn't be shocked if he breaks into the top 5 as early as 2026. For more on the Commanders, subscribe to Locked On Commanders on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
I mean, I think Jayden Daniels has a chance to go up, but I just want a word of caution. We said this about C.J. Stroud too. This was the same thing we said about C.J. Stroud. Where do you think Jayden Daniels might end up next year?
It's such a wide range, right? I really like Jayden Daniels. So it's not like when I look at this list, I'm like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? I think it's super risky. Again, very recency bias. I don't know. Like, if the Commanders could trade for Justin Herbert straight up, would they? If the Chargers could trade up Jayden Daniels for Herbert straight up, would they? I don't know. Like, I think it's kind of crazy that Daniels is ahead of Herbert, because just think about how high we were on him after his, rookie season, how high we were. Like, I would love to go see where Stroud was ranked last year. Like, I do just think after rookie seasons, maybe we get a little too excited. So Daniels is the 7th quarterback to win Offensive Rookie of the Year since 2011. The other guys were Stroud, Herbert, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Robert Griffin III, and Cam Newton. Stroud, Prescott, Griffin, and Newton each had fewer touchdowns in their second season compared to the rookie seasons. And Herbert and Murray each had 5+ more, so they were a little bit better. But now Herbert and Murray are both ranked below, not Herbert, but below Jayden Daniels. So it's just like, it's too early in his career to really give him a true, honest ranking. So I can't be too upset with it, because he could be top 10 next year. I'm not going to be shocked. He could fall all the way down to the 60s next year, and I won't be shocked.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you. With that in mind, I personally had Matthew Stafford as my number 5 quarterback. Now, I got to tell you,
he's so overrated, man. He's so overrated.
That's crazy. I think the total opposite of that. He's old. He was still playing great ball at the end of the season. Like, if I'm doing it, thinking about it the way that I think about it is, if I got to win a game right now, who would I take? And if the top 4 quarterbacks were off the board and I had to win a game, I would take Matthew Stafford. And I would take Jayden Daniels over Justin Herbert as well. I don't trust Justin Herbert in big moments right now. He's got to kind of earn that. But obviously, based on the way that we're talking about that, who would you have as your number 5 quarterback? Justin Herbert?
I personally would have Jalen Hurts, because I think when you're talking about at a big moment, I know Jalen Hurts doesn't have the skill set that a Justin Herbert has with his arm. Right. And maybe he's not as fast as Jayden Daniels, but the thing that Jalen Hurts has is that head on his shoulder. Like, he has that amazing quarterback mind that he needs, and that leadership, and just the untouchable. Like, he does not get rattled at all. So personally, Jalen Hurts would be my 5th.
And Jalen Hurts comes in at number 46 on the list, which we're making our way that direction. But I got to tell you, there's a running back ranking here in the 30s to 40s that I just, It's not necessarily how high it is, it's the number that really bothers me. All right, Michelle, let's cap off today's edition of Locked On NFL, talking about the Locked On NFL Top 100 Players list. Again, dropped on Wednesday. Our top 100 was formed by the experts that cover these teams and players every day. You can find the full list on Locked On Sports Today on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss tomorrow's episode. We're going to be breaking down more top 100 Locked On NFL discussions. But I want to stay right here in the 30s to 40s real fast and just say Bijan Robinson at number 34, ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm sorry. You could say that Bijan Robinson is maybe a more complete player, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a much more explosive player. And if I had to pick one of those running backs right now with how the careers have gone, I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Gibbs has been the better player.
That's wild. I mean, Gibbs has way less touches. So, yeah, you're able to be way more explosive. So what? Like, yeah.
Well, he's in a healthier offensive situation. He's not asked to do what Bijan is asked to do all the time.
Exactly. That's the point, right? Gibbs has been behind one of the best offensive lines in the league, especially run offensive lines. Had one of the
Atlanta's
best.
Offensive line isn't bad.
No, Atlanta's offensive line is good, and the run offensive line is very good. I'll give him that. Absolutely. But he also had Ben Johnson, a mastermind. He also got to take off a lot of time because David Montgomery's there. So, yeah, your legs are going to be fresher. But, I mean, I have never seen a guy who he had close to 1,800 scrimmage yards last year, right? Just be so hated on for no reason. I would actually, if I had to rank running backs in the league right now, Bijan Robinson is my number one. I think he's the best running back in the league. I think he's absolutely electric. He forces missed tackles like no other. He's a great receiving back. He had nearly a 50% rush success last year, according to Next Gen Stats. That was the highest in a season in Next Gen Stats era. Like, he is just so stinking good. I can't hate on his ranking. I think he should be higher.
Listen, Aaron Freeman of Locked On Falcons is with you, and he's pushing the propaganda for next year as well.
Bijan Robinson is on the rise in the Locked On NFL Top 100. I'm Aaron Freeman with Locked On Falcons. According to my Locked On Podcast Network peers, Bijan Robinson is the 34th best player in the entire NFL in the Locked On NFL Top 100 rankings. That puts him as RB3 behind Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, both ranked in the top 15. I think that's a mostly fair ranking for Bijan Robinson. And both Barkley and Henry, given the seasons they're coming off in 2024. But I think Robinson is an ascending player, and I'm very optimistic that by the end of this upcoming 2025 NFL season, he'll widely be considered the best running back in all of football as he looks to break 2,000 yards from scrimmage for the first time in his NFL career. So I think we might be seeing Bijan Robinson potentially cracking the top 10 rankings this time next year, if and when my fellow Locked On hosts do this again in 2026. The prophecy has been foretold, and you heard it here first. And of course, you can hear more about Robinson and the Falcons on Locked On Falcons, our Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Listen, I'm not a Bijan hater. I just think that Jahmyr Gibbs is the more explosive playmaker, and if they were both given equal opportunities on my fake football team, then I would rather have Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. But nonetheless, we move forward here. We'll look at the
that's kind of what they said about your boy Tony Pollard on the Titans. He just needed more opportunity, and he would be so good. It turns out that sometimes when you split a backfield, that's actually good for players. It turns out sometimes coaches know what they're doing.
Yeah, sometimes. I guess so. But I think the Lions were just in a great situation. There it is. It's a
exactly that makes
a riches situation. They could afford to do that. If he
Aren't
was
we
on
supposed to
a
take situation out of it? No.
I don't know. I think that depends. How did you rank the players? What was your view of it? Again, mine is a little bit different, I guess, than maybe some others. If Lamar Jackson's number one and Patrick Mahomes isn't, but we move forward through the list a little bit. We got Christian McCaffrey coming in at 44. He's running back 5 on the list. I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. Or are you against that?
No. I mean, if he's healthy this year, he'll most likely lead the league in scrimmage yards again.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Jared Verse comes in at 57, CJ Stroud at 58. Who do you think has a better chance of being higher on the list and taking a bigger jump next year?
I think the Texans have done a really good job this offseason surrounding Stroud with a lot of playmakers. We'll see what their offensive line can do. That's what it's really going to come down to. But I'll give CJ Stroud a better chance to increase next year. I mean, I think Verse is great, but apparently they can't even get TJ Watt to the top 10. So apparently edge rushers, it's very hard to move up.
I am actually going to go with Jared Verse. I think Verse is going to be considered a top 20 player in the NFL after this season. I think his numbers are finally going to reach what he was doing on tape at the end of last year. I think he's going to go nuts. I think if we did, and Ross will probably have all the fun on tomorrow's show, but if we do who will be the biggest risers on the list, which we may still do next week, Jared Verse would be one of the number one people that I would be talking about. Moving forward through the 60s, or 60 to 70 here, Jordan Love finally makes the list at 68. And I think one of the most controversial rankings that we are going to see, Travis Hunter, a rookie who's never played an NFL snap, at number 67, ahead of Mike Evans at 69. Are you with me that this is just as, who are all these Travis Hunter lovers out here on the Locked On Network? We got to talk to him. I'm not so certain that Travis Hunter will be a guy who will reflect this ranking when we get done with the season. I think he's going to be really good, but top 100 before you ever play, I don't know about that.
Top 100 before you ever play. I feel like they probably should have just kept off rookies altogether, because
just put Brian Thomas Jr. in here and I would feel better about the whole list. Brian Thomas Jr. didn't make it.
That's insane. That's insanity. And yeah, I mean, I would take Brian Thomas Jr. had an amazing season, amazing rookie season. There's been too many times where we thought guys were not prospects, right?
Yes.
And they end up being a possible miss, right? They end up not being good in the NFL. So I do think it's hard to rank any rookie right now. It's just, and also Travis Hunter, it's like, we gotta see if he can handle both sides of the field. There's too many question marks. I wouldn't have put him in here for sure. It's just way too risky for me.
No, I agree with you there. We get our first kicker on the list in the 70s, Brandon Aubrey at 76. I'm sorry, but I would not have any kickers in the top 100 players in the NFL. I'm sorry. Even prime Justin Tucker, I don't care. It's a kicker. I can't agree with that. Into the 80s, we get Jared Goff. One of the players that I say absolutely did not deserve to be on this list is Chris Olave at number 83. He's been so inconsistent. You know, I have a hard time putting a player like that in the top 100 after what he did last season.
There's so many players. Listen, I have a Brock Purdy, sticker behind me, a big fat head.
Yes.
The fact that, Travis Hunter, a rookie, that Chris Olave, that a kicker. I mean, I could go through so many guys are on this list over Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy does not make the list. It's absolutely absurd when we're talking about a guy that leads the NFL in passing yards per attempt. He's second in pass touchdown percentage, first in passer rating. He has 4 playoff wins. He already made a Super Bowl. He's made multiple NFC championship games. He has the second best passer rating in NFL history through 3 NFL seasons. The fact that this dude, that people are so butthurt about being wrong about their projections coming out of college, that they can't put him top 100 over a kicker in Chris Olave, who's done absolutely nothing. And I don't know. I think it's crazy. And I think people need to get their heads straight. And it's not just yards after the catch, because my dude leads the NFL also in completion percentage on downfield throws, and passing yards per attempt on downfield throws, and passer rating on downfield throws since entering the NFL league. Who does lead the league in yards after catch over the last 3 years is Patrick freaking Mahomes, who you're upset is not number 1. So we can't use a double standard. But yeah, I'm clearly very upset by that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty should be on this list.
Yeah, do not get in the path of a blazing data queen. I will tell you what, that'll get you done. No, that's a great point. And Brock Purdy should be on this list. I agree. Before any rookie or any kicker, he should be in the top 50, in my opinion. I think you could probably put him in the, top 10, 12 quarterbacks, which I think should all be in that top 50. But hey, different list, a lot of names, a lot of people. And one of the names that I just wanted to point out is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce at 85. Do you think Travis Kelce is going to be on this list next year?
I know it's so sad for him because last year he probably was like top 15, right?
Right.
We'll see. We'll see if he can bounce back. He's lost some weight. Maybe it's hard. I mean, you hit a certain age and it's hard to, what do they call it? Dad years,
Yeah.
dad age, catches
Yeah.
everyone. So unfortunately, I think we're seeing the end of Travis Kelce's career, and that's okay.
Right.
Like, he had an amazing career. So this ranking, it feels sad to me, is what it feels like, because it's like an end of an era. But I won't be surprised if he bounces back next year, not to like top 20 or anything like that, but maybe top 50.
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta doubt top 50. I think he's on the way down, not on the way up. Maybe a better year from Patrick Mahomes will result in that, but I think they're doing everything they can to kind of have enough without Travis Kelce being as good as he's been in the past. So I'm kind of okay with it.
This Chris Olave ranking is really messing with me at 83 because
How?
you cannot tell me, and this is what I like to do. Like, would a team trade for that player straight up? There's not a world that the Saints would say no to taking Malik Neighbors off of the Giants' hands for Chris Olave.
Malik Neighbors at number 80 or at number 92, and Drake London at number 88.
And you can't tell me that the Jaguars wouldn't want, well, I mean, I guess if they're like really set on that he's going to be great at corner and wide receiver, but you're really telling me that the Jaguars right now wouldn't want Malik Neighbors over Travis Hunter. I guess maybe that's a case better than Chris Olave. Chris Olave should not be in the top 100 whatsoever.
Yeah, that would be a fun discussion, quite honestly, but Chris Olave, what are we doing?
And there's not a single argument for Jordan Love to be in the top 100 over Brock Purdy. There's not a single argument. You cannot give me a single argument.
I want to put you and Peter Bukowski in a room and let you guys.
I've already asked him to do it. He's been too scared to do it.
Oh, well, there's your official challenge. Top 100. It gets people going. With that being said, that is going to do it for today's edition of Locked On NFL. I am your host, the Madman, Tyler Rowland, for my co-host, the Data Queen, Michelle Majuk, as we tell you every single episode. Stay safe out there.
Bye, y'all.